Welcome to the show. What an amazing book you've written. You know what's funny is I met Jose at an event, and we started talking about food. I don't know, he looked at me and he was like, "You like food." And we started talking about food, and this is a fascinating man who told me a story about going to places that have been hit by natural disasters or disasters of any kind, and cooking food for the people who have been removed from their homes. How do you get started in that, and how did your story begin with Puerto Rico specifically? Because you've had an interesting relationship with the nation.
Well, Puerto Rico, I went there first time over 25 years ago. And I really fall in love with that island. Puerto Ricans are amazing people. They love to dance salsa. They celebrate life. I was lucky enough to have a restaurant in Dorado for the last few years. But then Maria, the hurricane was coming, and I was watching. My team and I, we already were in Houston.
Right.
So we helped there. We made a few 100,000 meals. We were kind of all right. Hurricane hit on the first plane. We landed. And we began making few meals, few thousand meals a day. But we saw that the problem was getting, if anything, bigger and bigger. So we kept cooking. And we went from 1,000 meals to 150,000 meals a day, more than 3.7 million meals in total, from 20 volunteers to 25,000 volunteers,
wow.
From one kitchen to 26 kitchens. We didn't plan. The only thing we did was start cooking. Every phone call we got, any email, tweet, Facebook, we are hungry. We never said no. We kept feeding anybody that asked us for a meal.
It's really a story where the beauty of what yourself and your team have done is only I guess amplified by the tragedy of the island as well, because you went through a really tough period of learning how to cook for the people in each place, because I mean you did this in Haiti as well.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is a lot of people might say, oh, why not just send food packets there? Why are you going there to physically cook for the people? But you talk about that in the book. Could you share why you do that?
I mean, you imagine, right? I think we are who we are thanks to, in a way, the food we eat. And it's okay in emergencies, you just give the MREs the meals ready to eat.
Right.
But that was created for our military during war. But I saw in Haiti that kids, even hungry, they didn't want to eat those MREs. They prefer use a humble plate of beans and rice. That brings comfort. Even I was cooking in Haiti, and I made those beans. And we cooked for almost a camp, a refugee camp of 1,000 people. And the woman came to me and with a translator. And they were saying, like, we don't like that. And I was like, what? I am Jose Andres. Well, they wanted to eat their beans in the way they like them. They didn't want them whole. They want them puree to make the beans into a sauce. You know what we did? We followed their guidance. We made them into a sauce. All of a sudden, they were happy. They were being fed in the way they like to eat.
Right.
Food, in essence, gives you hope that tomorrow maybe things will be better. That's why a plate of food is so important in those moments.
It's so fascinating because you've been out there on the ground, and it's, I mean, really incredible timing that you're here now today speaking about this when the President of the United States is tweeting out saying that the disaster wasn't as much of a disaster as people claim it to be. You were actually on the ground. You saw what happened. How does it make you feel, and how do you respond to what people are seeing the president saying today?
I mean, we need to help our president. We really do. Because we should be showing the empathy he doesn't have. I think he tries, but I think it's lost somewhere between his hair and somewhere else. and only to see him used to say was only 16 deaths, when it was very obvious for many people in the island that the death toll was much higher. And used to come all of a sudden with this stupid tweet saying, well, actually, the 3,000 people, the Democrats made it up. When you're dead, you're not Republican or you are Democrat. You are American people that your government forgot about you. And all those people were on the watch of President Donald Trump. So come on, man, show some empathy. You show some support, because those people die under his watch. And if he did more, probably we will be talking about a much smaller number.
Right.
Fortunately, didn't happen.
When you look at the story of Puerto Rico as someone who's been on the ground, What are some of the most inspiring stories you've encountered? Are there moments where you've thought to yourself, you know, this is how Puerto Rico will get through it. This is what makes Puerto Rico so special.
You know, I saw so many children, especially girls, 10 years old, like Lola. Their father and mother, they work in a food truck, and they will go around the island. We had a total of 10 food trucks. She will stay in the headquarters in a kitchen that we were doing 75,000 meals a day. She was 10 years old, but she was in charge of the entire line of making sandwiches, ham, cheese, mayo, and you had to sit there, a 10-year-old, in charge of 100 people in a line, telling them, come on, people, quicker, more ham, more cheese, more mayo. President Trump, if a 10-year-old can lead a line of 100 people making sandwiches, shouldn't you be leading better? Simple.
So simple, even a 10-year-old could do it. We Fed an Island is available now. An amazing story, an amazing man. Jose Andres, everybody.